Hello everybody and welcome. I am thrilled to be presenting this very nicely modified S197 5-liter 2011 Mustang Coupe. And just to get into some of the history behind this car and some experiences I've had with S197s, I've driven a normal unmodified 5-liter S197 before with the 6-speed, and you know it's a nice feel of a muscle car, something you can daily, right? And then to get in more of the performance aspects of experience I've had with these S197s, I've got the opportunity to drive a Dan Gurney edition S197, which, as some of you may know, is a supercharged, just as this one is, with the Ford Performance Whipple supercharger. I believe it's a 4.6 liter. This is the 5-liter Coyote with the Ford Performance supercharger added onto it, and that paired with the suspension upgrades that this car has on it is just a blast to drive. You know, there's a lot of tasteful modifications done to this one. I said it's a 2011. It is a one-owner Mustang. He had this new ordered from the dealership and did most of the modifications through the dealer. This car has a great service record, and just cosmetically, I think this thing looks mean. We have this excellent carbon fiber hood here, the Shelby alloy wheels, and this nice matte wrap over what was a gloss black paint job. So just to get into some of the cosmetic features on the car, overall the car is very clean, but it is a driver. We are just at 57,000 miles, so the car has seen some time on the road. So coming up front, we have this wrap here. As you guys can see, it is a matte wrap on most of the parts of the car here. So coming around the right side of the bumper on the lower, where you start to see most road debris, you know, talking rock chips and everything, but on this car, it is very clean. You can see here just a little break in where the wrap is. We have this nice tint over these side markers, and you can see poking out here, the under paint is what is underneath this wrap. But on most of the rest of the car, there's no breaches in the wrap. It was done at a very well-known shop, so it was professionally done, as you guys will be able to tell. Some of these creases, I know this car has a lot of these sharp angles and difficult panels to do on a wrap, but the guys did a great job. So coming around the front side here, this is a different, but I believe Ford factory front grille setup. The original is included in the sale with the fog lights. For this one here, you see these awesome grates here and where the fog lights would be. It is in great condition. You know, the plastic looks all intact. There's no breaks, no cracks, and the logo just looks awesome. That's shiny, and the red, white, and blue, as we all love, that American touch on here. So coming around the front, more clean wrap. I believe the paint underneath is in great condition. As you can see, there's no rocks that made it through. Coming down to the lower lip, no cracks, no scrapes. This car is lowered, I believe, on Ford Performance coilovers, springs, and Coney suspension struts. So coming around here on the right side, we have a little bit of abrasion here. It looks like it did not break through the wrap. You can tell there, and a little bit more bubbling here on that side marker, and almost the same side, kind of the wrap separating from the rest of the lower bumper. But the rest of the bumper condition looks great. As I said, lowered cars usually see these scrapings, a little bit more down here, but nothing too egregious. Coming up to the headlights, you have a little bit more of an abrasion here, but the rest of them, they are very clean. Same with the one on the right side. This one's very clean, practically undamaged. And I just love the look of these S197 Mustang headlights. They are very aggressive, but I believe they use xenon bulbs, so it gives great visibility at nighttime. So coming up to the hood, we have a full carbon fiber hood with this very aggressive hood scoop. I mean, this hood is in just perfect condition. I haven't really been able to see any flaws whatsoever. We have a little bit of spotting up here. If you look at it in the right light, that's just on the clear coat over the carbon fiber, but nothing too obvious that jumps out on you. No scratches, no dings, no breaks in the carbon, no exposed carbon. It's all sealed and done very nice. And when I pop the hood, it's just light as a feather. So coming up here to the rain guard, this is a nice supple meeting on where the windshield is. We have this nice black sun strip over it adds to the kind of Terminator mean look that this Mustang presents. The windshield is in great condition. I've found a couple rock chips, only a little ding right there, and on the other side, if we come around, we have this semi-large to my finger, you can see there, rock chip that hasn't started to split. It's a little bit of correction from a Safelite guy or whoever you choose to fix that. It'll disappear. I've done a couple windshield repairs, and cracks like that tend to go away. So you have these Rain-X windshield wipers in good condition, not separating off the rubber, and the actual wipers are good as well. So coming up to the A-pillar of the car, the wrap is all one piece coming all the way down to the quarter, and there seems to be no abrasions or any scratches. Sometimes you'll see rock chipping up here just from, you know, life on the road, but nothing at all on this A-pillar. And coming down to the front driver quarter, the wrap looks good all around. You do start to see with wraps, especially of the matte color, kind of scratches, and it's not actually scratching the wrap, but it's more concaving with anything that's, you know, brushed up against the car. You can see one here, and it almost just changes its color, and it's hard to get out, but with a heat gun, I've seen guys go and do that and smooth it out, and it tends to go away, but that is not on the actual paint, it's on the wrap there. So coming to the front driver wheel, we have these Shelby alloy wheels. The original wheels are included in the sale, but these are just an awesome look, and these wheels look almost in perfect condition besides one little curb rash there, and it almost broke through where the paint is, but just a little bit there and nowhere else. I'm talking about these Bridgestone, I believe they're Potenza sport tires. They are 255s in the front, so a nice fat tire for your front. And we're looking for a DOT here. Let's see, so these are 22 in the front, 0722. So they're quite new tires, and the tread looks great. Coming down to the brakes, this car has excellent stopping power with factory optioned Brembo front calipers. Everybody loves Brembos, and we got some nice little slotted and drilled rotors as well. You know, this car got the power, you need to be able to stop it when you come to a turn. So coming around to the rest of the front quarter here, we have our badging. It is a 5-liter Coyote, so that seems to have painted black or wrapped black as well to match the car. It's blacked out, but you still have that red kind of faded dot there. But coming down, the wrap looks all good. All the way down to the side skirts, where usually you'll see rocks getting shot up here. We don't see any of that. The plastic is in good condition. It's smooth underneath. Doesn't seem to have been damaged. You know, it kind of continues without much damage. A little bit discoloration just from the aging of that exposed plastic, but nothing too bad. Coming to the driver door and mirror, the front section of the door looks great. You know, the wrap is uniform all around. Sometimes with wrapped cars and different portions, you'll see kind of different color fading over the years. But this seems to have held it true in uniform. The mirror is in great condition as well. You can see, I wonder if this is wrapped as well, but I believe it is. They did a great job. You can't tell. Usually on mirrors, you'll be able to see where the crease is on the wrap, but this one just looks absolutely perfect. Coming to the kind of rain guard on the window trim here, also in good shape. We have a little bit of scratching here, and the windows are in great shape as well. They do have this dark tint on it, so you can start to see a little bit of water spotting on this tint here that does not come off with wiping. You will need to either replace the tints or go into some cleaning method that I'm unfamiliar with to get those water spots away off of that window, but you have to be real close to be able to notice it. But other than that, the windows look good. The rest of the driver door looks in good condition, no scratches or dents. We do have, like I said, with this wrap, when you press against it or brush against it, even with your fingernail, it will make these marks. So you see a lot of these here with just opening and closing this door at this door handle. The door handle is in good condition as well. The wrap looks good. A lot of times you'll see on wrapped cars, this is where they mess up the wrap, but this looks great. You know, to a person who does not know, you would almost not be able to tell that this car is wrapped. They did a great job. Coming to the quarter, We have our rear window here, also tinted, in good condition. And all this quarter panel looks great. There's no dents in this section of the car that I can see, but you do have this kind of long scratch here to show you there, the length of it, and this abrasion here. And you don't feel it, so it's not a dent, but also seems to be that scratching abrasion that this wrap has succumbed to. And down here as well, this is in great condition in front of the tire. There doesn't seem to be any rock chips, more little marks here on that wrap. But otherwise it's clean, no delamination of the wrap that I can see here. It's tucked nice underly and flush with this wheel well. And while we're down here, come to the driver rear wheel. So we look like these fresh pads. Not sure how long those have been in here, but they have good life on them with that rear caliper and slotted and drilled rotor, along with these beautiful Shelby alloy wheels. I just absolutely love these. There's a little bit of scratching here, but no curbing all the way around. Just a little bit of scratching here and here, but other than that, there's no major gashes in that wheel. Let's look for DOT. These are 1522 tires, and in the rear you are set up with a 295 width. You have this supercharged 5-liter Coyote. You need to be able to put that power down to the ground, and these 295s are going to help you do that. You can peek through there as well and see those beautiful blue Ford Performance coils and that yellow Coney shock. As well, paired with underneath, poking out, you have that rear trailing arm, and you can see that red color. It's just so aggressive. Absolutely love the combination. You got that blue, yellow, and red, and the rest of the car is black, so it pops out and makes it seem, this car is not fully stock. It's got some hidden features in there if you look really deep into it. But coming to the rest of the rear quarter panel, we have our gas cap in good condition. And up top here, if we just talk about this abrasion here, where we start to see some coming through and even through the actual paint of the car. I'm not sure what happened here, but you can see, for example, that is underneath the actual paint, of course, through the wrap externally, and then continuing down here, we have down to what would be the actual paint of the car, but not through it. It seems like something might have fallen onto it. So coming to the rear window, it's in quite perfect condition. There's no cracks or dings or any of the sort, but you do have that tint on there that stays uniform with the driver, passenger, and rear windows. While we're up here, we'll also talk about the roof that is wrapped as well. Sometimes you'll see some fading. This matches well. You start to see a little bit of these, almost what would be a water spot, and most likely is water spots on this tint that do not come out. You could do not tint, but on the wrap of the car. And it is almost on most places on the car, you have to look real fine in the right lighting, but they do start to show up. On a car that is unwrapped, you'd be able to take some detail and wipe that off, but on this wrap, it is stuck in there. But the wrap is uniform and not unlaminated anywhere on the roof. It looks in great condition. So coming down to the rear bumper, we have tinted side marker lights and starting of this plastic lower bumper / diffuser that is in good condition all around, other than what is the one accident reported. It was in 2013 when this car was involved in on the road with another motor vehicle. It seemed to be a minor rear ending here. So it kind of pokes through the actual bumper here. Start to see some cracking in the wrap and some abrasions here. Hate to see it, but this would be somewhat of an easy fix with the new diffuser. I know they're all over the place for these S197s. And coming up here just below the taillight, you start to see a little bit of delamination on the corner and some cracking here and a little bit of abrasion, and then down to what the paint is of the car here on the rear bumper. The taillights are, I believe, sequential LED aftermarket replacements. I'm not sure how that works with, I believe it's would be for the turn signals, but I absolutely love the tints. It matches the rest of the car, and like I said, leaves this nice Terminator feeling to it. Going up to the rear wing is in good condition. That wrap stays uniform, all the way through. A little bit of delamination bubbling here, but not too visible. For that cut there, our phone overheated. It's about 87, almost 90 degrees outside, so we'll move through the rest of this exterior walk around speedily, but we'll cover everything. So coming down to the GT badging, this is a GT model. Everything looks good here. You got the wrap continuing down to what would be the original plastics and a nice chrome logo. Again, a tinted rear light here, and coming down to the center of the rear bumper, everything looks good. Same with the lower bumper slash diffuser. No scratches or abrasion. This car has not been backed into anything. And let's just talk about these Borla exhaust tips. This car sounds absolutely amazing. And what you can tell by following this car from the back is that it does look amazing as well with this exhaust system. I believe up front we have Kooks headers to high flow catalytic converters into an X-pipe to this Borla performance muffler and those awesome chrome tips. Borla is just an absolutely cool company for their sound engineering and exhaust systems. So this rear taillight here, again, the LED sequential taillights in great condition. That tint, a little bit of delamination here on the top of the rear portion of the quarter panel, and the right side of the lower bumper and diffuser looks great. Actually, just to touch on this little bit here, where this bumper seems to have touched the exhaust and melted a little bit, but nothing too drastic, and no crazy rock chips or anything here. A couple of hairline scratches coming down the side of the car. Same as the other side marker in good condition. Radio antenna and a little bit of swirling here on the wrap. That's just about it. And what seems to be a stamped 6 maybe, or a 9 from what wrap company that this was bought from. The trunk, smooth, uniform all across. A couple little scratches in the wrap there, but very hard to see, and same with that water spawning. Coming up on this portion here of the quarter panel, everything looks good. One more scratch here and here and here. Coming down low, no dents or deformation of the rear passenger quarter panel. A little bit of brushing here. Maybe somebody walked by with something on that brushed up against there, or a tree branch or something, but same thing, that's only in the vinyl wrap. Potenzas in the rear as well. That was 295s. Looking for a date code on these tires, 15 to 22. So these tires are practically brand new, a couple years, but the tread looks great. A lot of the times, muscle cars, you'll see the tread in the rear being worn down quite fast, especially one with this amount of power. But these look good. Brakes look good as well, and the wheel in good condition. Just a couple of scratches here, maybe from cleaning, but no curbing, no big gashes at all in those center Shelby caps. Look awesome. Coming up to the window here, everything is nice and uncracked, no chips. We have that tint, and this portion of the roof also very clear. Just a little bit of that water spotting, some stagnant water. This plastic trim looks good as well. And coming to the front portion of the quarter panel that leads all the way over to the A-pillar, everything up top looks good. No scratches there. Another hairline scratch here. A little bit more scratching, I'm assuming, from when you would close the door, and then here as well when you're opening that door. This matte vinyl wrap has taken some damage just through those actions. A little bit more water spotting, kind of a little bit visible, just only in intense sunlight, which we do have today, not a cloud in the sky. So you can see that kind of water spotting on the wrap. Lower side skirt is good. No scratches, no cracks. A lot of times you'll see that with cars that ride this low, but not on this one. So coming to the midsection of the door, looks good. Not any scratches in the vinyl that I see, maybe just here. Very, very minuscule, not bad whatsoever. We have our window with that same tint, same thing with those water spots, and it looks in good condition though. Same thing with the mirror, no chips, maybe just a little chip right there, just a baby chip. But man, that's crazy to see mirrors, especially over 50,000 mile mirrors without a single scratch or ding. I mean, you're driving on the road here. This car was not on the track which would accelerated that process of damaging on these forward-facing components, but that one looks very clean. Coming down to the front portion of the door, also very clean, no delamination. A lot of times you see that in wrapped cars right here. And then the front fender also looking very clean, a little bit more water spotting. You got your badging in great condition, and the front portion of the lower side skirt in great condition as well. No rocks, look like they shot up here. A little bit of what looks like would be water of some sort kind of stained that wrap, but you can see the body lines very well. This matte wrap makes them very prominent, and it looks just awesome. Coming over to the top, I guess we talked about the condition of the windshield, but we'll talk about the A-pillar here. In great condition, no chips, just a little bit of a scratching here, but nothing too bad. And you can just see the rest of this front fender, a little bit more scratching here and there. What I'd assume from guys leaning over the car, working on it, you know, adding oil or whatever of the sort. You know, these scratches can become visible after that. Same thing with here. But other than that, the thing looks very good for the panels of the car. And lastly, we'll talk about, for the external factor, the front passenger wheel and tire. Potenza Sports, assuming the same date codes, looking for 0722, so all 2022 all around. These wheels are in good condition. The passenger side, typically you'll see more gouging in the wheels or curbing, but these alloy Shelby wheels look just clean. Just a little bit of, maybe they were originally silver and it's been painted over, but just a little bit of paint missing there. But other than that, hubcaps look good. Brembo caliper looks great, and pad life looks just fine. I love these Brembo, what I believe 4-piston calipers are very easy to change the brake pads with. You just pull the pin off the back and those pads slide right out, race car style. So that's it for the external walk around, and we'll go and talk about some of the engine bay factors, the trunk, and interior next. Moving to the interior portion of the car, I'm just gonna pop the hood here and start there, and I'll just give you a quick demonstration on how light this hood actually is. I can reach in here, get that unlatched. I mean, this is just insane. You can see the carbon fiber all through here, a little bit of paint over here, but this gives a nice exposed portion of it. The hood in great condition. I'll just pull this up. And there is the 5-liter Coyote Ford motor powered with a Ford Racing Whipple supercharger. So this was installed at the dealership and originally came with the factory warranty, I believe. So basically a factory installed Whipple supercharger on this 5-liter to just give a great power figure. Everything else looks very clean. This battery looks in great condition just starting. I love this red Optima paired with the rest of the black engine bay. No corrosion over there. Coming over to the shock towers, looks in good condition. You can see this factory bracing there. Love to see that. Coming down, the plastics look all good. A little bit of wear marks, but everything, you know, there's not major leaks anywhere. You know, I've checked the plugs in the plug sockets. There's no oil. The head gaskets look great. The valve covers look great. Just love the look of this intake as well. You have a high flow intake to be paired with this exhaust on a SCT handheld tuner that you can adjust your setting on which you want your Whipple supercharger to put out different power figures for you. We have our nice, seems medium-sized pulley. I'd have to get to that. I think it says 3.375. There, I'm sure you can get a smaller pulley to pull some extra power out of that supercharger. But overall, the engine bay looks very clean and extremely aggressive. You know, you show up with a 5-liter Mustang to a car show, and you pop the hood and you have a nice supercharger in there. Everyone's gonna be running over to check it out. So coming around to the interior, just look at that charcoal black leather I love it black on black with a little bit of chrome and silver trim on the inside. First things to talk about over here, the door looks in immaculate condition, no cracking in the plastic. You know, you start to see in these mid-2000 era cars when you have black interior, you start to see some sun fading, some delamination, but I guess these tints helped a lot. This car looks in great condition, just a little bit of decoloration here where the windows are, but that's just about it on the doors. We have a nice sound system. I believe it's a Shaker 500 sound system paired with a special audio option, and it just sounds absolutely awesome when you're riding down the road. You want some good tunes for some good vibes. The steering wheel is in great condition. No abrasion really, just a little bit of scratching there on the side. Guy must have been laying on the horn. Buttons are in good condition. You have your speedometer, tachometer of that old Mustang look. They kept going through the 2000s. Kick plates are in good condition. You start to see some wear here on the driver's seat. Black leather tends to do that, but the rest of it looks good. The side bolsters, the actual seating area, no rips, no tears, just a little bit of crinkling there. Talking about the back seats, I like this cool feature here the Mustang has where you can kind of drop that seatbelt extension, let the passenger. Welcome back. Phone overheated again, but we'll just continue to talk about this rear. These seats are in amazing condition. I love the adjustable option for the headrests there, so you can see when you don't have anybody in the back. I'd love to actually make a couch out of S197 seats. This would just be an awesome office piece. But center console in the rear there, you start to see some, kicking action if somebody's been in here, but this is practically unused for rear seats. Not the most room in the world. But as you also look up here, the headliner is in great condition, not sagging whatsoever. So we'll walk around here to the trunk. So you actually need to pop that trunk. So you have our key here, double tap, 1, 2, and there she goes. Love when that works. Trunk lining in great condition. You have all the carpeting where it needs to be, no tearing. And let's take a look underneath where we have what would be a spare. We have an air pump and whatever this is. But it's clean, no rust, no holes or anything of the sort. So the trunk is in good condition, and all the supple rubber lining for the rain here, all where it needs to be. Now coming around to the passenger side of the interior, kick plates look great, and you can see this gloss black paint here. That is what the original color of the car is underneath that wrap, and it is exposed there. You can see the floor mats are in great condition. Seat not as worn as the driver's side, but a little bit of that creasing there, but no rips or tears. Dash looks awesome. Coming down, and we have that Shaker center console with all these, buttons where they need to be. Everything works, and I believe an MGW racing short throw shifter with this awesome shift knob here. I love these ball shifters. And we're also talking about the door here in good condition. Don't see anywhere. Seems like this is more of a driver's car than something to drive people around with. Just barely wear on the interior. Passenger back looks good, and the seats are in great condition. So now we will go for a cold quick start, or cold start, sorry. And I'm gonna give the mic over here to my camera guy, and I'll start her up for you. And she's idling just above 1,000 RPM, no indications. We have a tire pressure monitor fault, but that's just about it, and low fuel warning. So we'll head over to the gas station in the driving portion of the video, but yeah, let's go for a drive. Inside the Mustang now, we have come to a decent temperature, so we're gonna start to get on a roll here. But first we're testing, we got the AC blowing ice cold. It's a hot day today, we'll go max AC even there. Listen to that roar up. Love to hear it. We'll turn it down. If you guys say, if you guys adjustable, below configurations, we have automatic and electric seats here on the bottom half, but the top half for the backs are manual. But I'm in a nice, comfortable position here. Let's have an adjustable steering wheel. We love that for us tall guys. So the car's at temperature now. We also test the radio before we go. It's a Mach 460 sound system paired with the Shaker 500. I believe those are optional, but it sounds great. Some good Mustang music. So without further delay, let's get to it. So already I'm feeling rambunctious and ready to hit the streets and test out this Whipple Supercharged 5-liter. Still a little cold on oil pressure, so don't grip on it too hard at first. So that's the MGW short throw action. Nice. Just wants to go, but it's very smooth with the power delivery. You can just roll through those gears, staying below 3,000 RPM, and be comfortable. Maybe some would even say fuel economic, but I already love the feeling of it. It's nice and smooth. It's not too stiff of a ride. You know, we have those Coney dampeners, but there's Ford Performance springs. You can feel them working together for a sporty feel, but still not too bumpy. And there is that 6th gear, about 65 miles an hour, sitting at 2,000, just under 2,000 RPM. Man, I love V8 stuff. I daily a inline 6 with a 5-speed, so I'm not used to this, and it's a nice feeling. So now the brakes are feeling good. Test that left turn signal. There it goes. Man, this thing sounds insane. This is Kook long tube headers with a nice X-pipe, so high flow cats, don't forget to mention that. As we're coming to a stop here, let's test these windows. So you got right coming down, left down, both up. On the move here, we can lay on it just a little bit, coming through 3,500. Oh man. And that is just insane. You really hear that supercharger start to whine up there, up in the power figures, and it scoots just along. Didn't have any problems with braking, any traction. Of course, we have traction control on. We have our traction control button here, and we're going to keep that on for this video. Yeah, everything else working as is. The car shifts great. It is paired with a limited slip differential in the rear. You know, we have that rear, the last generation of the solid rear end in the S197 Mustangs. It's the last time they released a car, you know, with that solid rear end, putting limited slip differential in that, paired with the suspension, the fat tire, to all add on to this cake of a supercharger. It feels manageable. And like I said, when I drove that Dan Gurney S197, it felt quite similar. So to be able to get into a car that feels like a Dan Gurney Special Edition S197 for a fraction of the price point is just awesome. You know, I'm not the most fond guy of American muscle cars, but this is something else. The guy did a great job in doing tasteful modifications. Also, to mention, there is some subframe reinforcement, some chassis reinforcement. I'll have to look into the company that did that, but it holds together this chassis to create a good feeling car on the road, and something that's not too loose, something that's not too uncontrollable. We're cruising along here and everything's just feeling great. The car sounds good. We're staying at good temperatures. I'm not over revving the car. I'm comfortable down the road, and the exhaust isn't too loud. There's no drone. Everything feels good there. And yeah, I mean, all the functions work in the car as they should. And I'm just enjoying enjoying my time tooting down the road here. We'll have a small cut, get some fuel, and we'll do some nice pulls for you guys. All right, at the gas station here, and just to talk about, you know, owning this car, it's a lot of car for the price figure that this will be trading at. And, you know, just being asked there by the gas station employee to do a donut. So we're driving a mean-looking Mustang here. You're gonna be getting looks, you're gonna be getting comments all day long. What are you doing, man? You going? You staying? I'll be going. But now that we're fueled up and nice and ready to go, we can get this Mustang doing a little bit of a pull here, so we'll give these guys some space. So we'll roll into second gear. And the boost comes on immediately, guys. We got a supercharged Mustang. This fourth gear there, back into second. And we are at the 4,000. And it just eats. I mean, this thing accelerates like nothing else. Guys, I said a lot of car, I mean a lot of car. Jesus Christ, you know, I'd be buying this thing if I had the money and wanted the looks down the road. I mean, it just has so much torque right there. This thing just under 40 miles an hour in fourth gear. Maybe 3,000 now, 60, 3,500 in fourth gear, and there's fifth, you know. Let's talk about the downshift for a second. This thing has a twin disc clutch, so the clutch is manageable, ready? Fast through it, you know, grabs it immediately. Love that throw, it's just right there. You know, you're cruising around 6th gear on the highway, somebody blows past you, you need a downshift, you can downshift. You can do it. Just absolutely love driving this car, and I know one of you, the new owner, will enjoy it just as much as I do. I hope you guys have enjoyed this portion of the video just as much as I have, and this car is going to find a very happy new owner. It's just an awesome piece of equipment, you know, just, you know, under 100,000 miles, great performance, great modifications, great cosmetic condition, you know, a lot more to go in its life. So, thanks for watching, guys, and best of luck with the auction. See you later. All right, we're just gonna get into some little twisty back roads here to show some of the actual turning performance on this Mustang. Straight line car, you know. Everything's been done up underneath to make this thing stiff enough, but yet just flexible enough to be able to pair with that solid rear end to make it just a beast of a car in all sorts of performance, and honestly all over the power band as well. Since we're supercharged here, you got that torque when you want it. Here. Skidding out on us. It's not tail happy, so it's nice and stable through the turns. We have those sway bars holding us together there. Looking for a little more of an increasing radius turn. Suspension, and it just feels like it's on rails. I mean, you wouldn't think in any kind of world, unless a Mustang has an arrow all over it, that it's going to be, you know, well off on the back roads through these tight, twisty turns, but this one is. It really feels good. I'm not scared for my life. The car goes where you want it to go. And those brakes feel good too. They have good stopping power. You know, come through it, but smooth as well. It starts all the way to the front of the car. Feels just right. Traction control kicking in there. You know, it keeps you safe, but it doesn't cut the throttle too aggressively, just very minorly. And that was over some bumps there through the turn. The traction control kicked in.